There is a world beyond what our eyes can see, a realm where unseen forces shape the course of our lives. In this age of artificial realities and digital illusions, it's easy to forget that the spiritual battle is real. The serpent, subtle and silent, moves unseen but leaves a trail of brokenness in its wake. Jesus said of him, "He is a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him." Have you felt the sting of this invisible war? The isolation, the spiritual dryness, the unanswered prayers. You are not alone. The struggle is ancient, but so is the hope. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be upon you. I'm ordinary people, a voice like yours, walking this journey of faith and doubt, hope and despair. Together, we will explore the quiet spaces where God's presence often feels hidden, yet is deeply near. This conversation is for those who feel distant from God, who wrestle with silence and sorrow, who long for meaning in a world that sometimes seems dark and confusing. Let us sit together by this fire and listen to the stories that remind us, even in the silence, God is at work. The Bible is full of voices crying out in pain, David's Psalms of lament, the prophet's cries against injustice, Jesus' own agony in Gethsemane. Philip Yancey reminds us in Where is God When It Hurts? That lament is not a sign of weak faith, but a doorway to deeper trust. Elaine Pagels reveals in the Gnostic Gospels how alternative faith narratives speak to the mystery of divine silence and presence. And T. Wright teaches that Christian hope is not wishful thinking, but a confident expectation rooted in the resurrection. Hope that surprises us even in the darkest moments. Bart Ehrman and John Dominic Crossan help us understand the tension between faith and doubt, and the political realities that shape biblical lament. These voices invite us to hold our pain and our hope together, trusting that God's story is still unfolding. Solution 1. Embrace lament as a path to healing. The first step is to embrace lament. Psalm 42:5 says, "Why, my soul, are you downcast? Why so disturbed within me? Put your hope in God." Lament is honest prayer. It brings our pain before God without pretense. N.T. Wright encourages us to see lament as part of the journey toward hope, not apart from it. When we name our sorrow, we open space for God's comfort and transformation. This is not despair, but a sacred dialogue with the divine. Solution 2. Cultivate spiritual practices to rekindle connection. When spiritual dryness creeps in, practical rhythms can anchor us. Prayer, meditation on Scripture, and worship invite God's presence into our daily lives. Craig Evans highlights the Psalms as a rich resource for spiritual renewal in times of crisis. Philip Yancey writes about the power of persistent prayer, even when answers seem delayed. Hebrews 10:25 reminds us not to give up meeting together, for community is a vital source of strength and encouragement. Solution 3. Engage with community to combat isolation. Isolation deepens spiritual struggle. Science tells us that human connection is essential for mental and emotional health. The Bible echoes this truth. 2 are better than 1. If one falls down, his friend can help him up. Real-life stories show how faith communities provide hope and healing. Bart Ehrman notes that even in doubt, shared faith experiences can foster resilience. Reach out, share your story, and listen to others. You are not alone. Solution 4. Practice gratitude and mindfulness grounded in Scripture. Gratitude shifts our focus from what is missing to what is present. Scientific studies confirm that gratitude improves well-being and reduces anxiety. The Apostle Paul urges us, give thanks in all circumstances. Mindfulness, when rooted in biblical meditation, helps us stay present with God's peace. Psalm 46:10 invites us to be still and know that I am God. This stillness can renew our soul and calm our fears about the future. Solution 5. Serve others as a source of purpose and healing. Serving others connects us to God's mission and brings meaning to our lives. Jesus said, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." Science shows that helping others activates brain pathways linked to happiness and purpose. Elaine Pagels reminds us that acts of kindness are a form of spiritual resistance against despair. When we reach out, we participate in God's healing work in the world and in ourselves. Why does God sometimes seem silent? This mystery has challenged believers for centuries. N.T. Wright explains that God's silence is not absence but a space for faith to grow. Bart Ehrman discusses the tension between doubt and belief as a dynamic part of spiritual life. John Dominic Crossan situates biblical lament within political and social contexts, showing how faith engages with real-world suffering. Science and theology together teach us that silence can be fertile ground for transformation and hope. We have walked through the shadows and the light, acknowledging pain while embracing hope. Lament, spiritual practices, community, gratitude, and service are pathways to healing. Remember Psalm 34-18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Your journey matters. Your hope is real. As we close, I leave you with this question. In the silence of your heart, what new hope is God whispering to you? Let this be a moment of courage to reflect, resist despair, and return to the one who calls you beloved. This testimony is given in a spirit of reflection and doth not presume to take the place of the Church's sacred and authoritative interpretation. If something stirred within you today, don't let it fade. Share this message with someone who might be walking through the dust right now. Reflect, resist, return, because hope isn't passive, it's a quiet, courageous choice, and you're not alone in making it. Let the light speak. Let grace lead. Come home. See you in the next reflection.